They said that the Zanari were incapable of emotion, that their crystalline hearts pumped not blood, but light, cold, unfeeling, perfect. So when I found myself standing before Princess Elura of the Zanari Empire, clutching a simple wooden music box from Earth, I never imagined that what came next would change the balance of two galaxies. But I'm getting ahead of myself. My name is Eliur Kane, Earth's first envoy to the Zanari Dominion. And this is the story of the day I gave an alien princess a gift so simple. It shattered an empire. Chapter 1. The Sky of Shards. The Zanari homeworld, Kelith Prime, hung in space like a broken jewel. Massive fragments of shattered moons orbited in glittering rings, scattering rainbows across the planet's violet clouds. The air shimmered faintly with electromagnetic energy. Every breath felt like inhaling static. My translator implant buzzed as I stepped onto the crystalline platform that served as a landing dock. Zanari architecture wasn't built, it was grown. Towers of living crystal reached toward the heavens, pulsing faintly like bioluminescent coral. Light refracted through everything, making it feel as though I were walking through a dream. My escort, Commander Rail, looked like he'd been carved from amethyst and ice. His translucent skin showed faint glimmers of the bioelectric veins beneath. When he spoke, his voice sounded like two harmonizing tones. Human Envoy Eliur Kane, you will present yourself to Her Radiant Highness Elura Vainath within the next hour cycle. You will not speak unless spoken to. You will not approach within 5 spans of her radiance. Understood, I replied, trying not to sound nervous. Rail tilted his head slightly. We do not understand why your species insisted on a diplomatic envoy at all. The Dominion has no need of sentiment. Then maybe that's exactly why we're here, I said quietly. He didn't respond. The silence hummed like a tensioned wire as we approached the palace. Chapter 2. The Princess of Light. The throne chamber of Kelith Prime was an ocean of light. Cascading beams of pure energy flowed through prisms suspended in midair, painting shifting colors across the crystalline floor. At the center sat Princess Elura, heir to the Zanari throne. She was unlike anything I'd ever seen. Her form was humanoid, but her skin shimmered with iridescent hues that changed with her breathing. Her eyes, vast, clear orbs, seemed to hold entire galaxies within. Instead of hair, faint tendrils of plasma drifted around her head like a halo. When she looked at me, I felt my heartbeat stutter. There was no malice in her gaze, only curiosity, and perhaps, buried deep, the faintest spark of loneliness. You are the one they call Eliur Kane, she said, her voice layered like a choir of harmonics. Yes, Your Highness, I said, bowing low. You bring a gift, she said, tilting her head. Explain. I swallowed. The gift, a small wooden box no bigger than my hand, felt almost laughably primitive amid such splendor. The box was carved from oak, polished smooth, with a tiny brass crank on the side. Inside, a delicate mechanism played an old earth lullaby, Clair de Lune. It's a music box, I said. It plays sound when you turn this handle. Humans use it as a keepsake. Sometimes as a comfort. Elura's expression didn't change. It is inefficient. Her attendants laughed softly, a sound like breaking glass. My cheeks burned, but I turned the crank anyway. The first few notes filled the chamber, gentle, haunting, fragile. And then something unexpected happened. The refracted lights in the room flickered. The crystalline walls trembled with resonant frequency. The princess's glowing eyes widened ever so slightly. What is this frequency? She whispered. It's music, I said softly. Emotion made sound. For a long time no one spoke. The song echoed through the luminous hall, and I saw, for the briefest moment, a single tear of light slide down Elura's cheek. The Zenari attendants froze. No one in the chamber had ever seen such a thing. Chapter 3. A fracture in the light. After that day, the princess summoned me often. At first, under the guise of further cultural study. But soon it became clear she sought something deeper. We'd sit beneath the great luminescent gardens of her palace, surrounded by glass-like flora that hummed in harmony with her heartbeat. I'd tell her stories. Of earth, of laughter, of rain and oceans and the warmth of sunlight. She would listen in perfect stillness. "You speak of water that falls from the sky," she said once, her luminous fingers trailing over a crystal flower. "And of warmth that does not burn. Your world is chaotic. And yet there is peace in it." Smiled. "That's humanity for you. We're messy but we care. Even small things matter. Like your gift," she said quietly. "It is simple. Yet it changed me." Her voice trembled slightly on that last word. It was subtle but I heard it. The Zenari had no concept of emotion. Their consciousness was structured around logic harmonics. But somehow, through a song from a fragile wooden box, she had felt. "I dream now," she whispered. "Dreams of light, of sound, of color that does not obey structure. My advisors say it is corruption of code. And what do you say?" "I say it is beautiful." Chapter 4. The Council of Logic. Her awakening did not go unnoticed. The Zenari High Council summoned me soon after. The chamber was cold, sterile. 12 crystalline figures hovered in a ring, connected by veins of pure energy. Their voices blended into a single vibration. "Human Elier Kane," the council intoned. "You have contaminated the radiant air with disruptive patterns. Explain your purpose." "I came in peace," I said. "To share culture, to understand." "To infect," they interrupted. "Your species weaponizes sentiment. We are immune to manipulation. Until now." Their accusation chilled me. "She felt something real," I said. "Is that so terrible?" The central figure pulsed harshly. "Emotion fractures unity. The dominion endures because it has no chaos. You have introduced entropy." Before I could answer, a voice cut through the light. "Enough." It was Elura. She entered the chamber, her glow dimmed but steady. The council bowed instinctively. "The human is under my protection," she said. "His presence expands our understanding. You speak of corruption, yet perhaps it is evolution." The council flickered with agitation. "Your radiance risks dissolution." "So be it," she said simply. "I will feel." For a moment silence reigned. Then the council vanished in a burst of light, leaving only the faint scent of ozone. Elura turned to me, her eyes soft. "You must leave, Elier. They will not forgive this." "I'm not leaving you," I said. Her light flickered faintly, something between sorrow and gratitude. "Then you may witness the end." Chapter 5. The collapse of harmony. Over the next weeks, the Zenari world began to change. It started small variations in the resonance fields that powered their cities. Then, entire structures began to hum out of sync, fracturing and regrowing unpredictably. Emotion, it seemed, had infected their collective consciousness like a melody in a machine. But for Elura it was liberation. She began composing music, pure sound from light and energy, merging Zenari frequencies with Earth harmonics. She called it the voice of two worlds. And it was breathtaking. Yet as her song spread through the networked consciousness of her people, it triggered rebellion. Some Zenari began to feel, to question their logic systems. Others saw it as corruption and called for her execution. Commander Rail found me in the gardens one night. His glow was dimmed, his posture uncertain. "She is tearing our world apart," he said. "Your gift did this." "Maybe it's not destruction," I replied. "Maybe it's rebirth." He glared. "We were perfect before you came." "Were you?" I asked softly. "Or just numb?" He said nothing, but his crystalline hand trembled ever so slightly. Chapter 6. The night of fractured light. It happened faster than anyone expected. The High Council declared Elura a fractured node, unfit to rule. They activated something called the Resonance Purge, a planetary pulse designed to reset the Zenari consciousness to baseline logic. In other words, they planned to erase her mind. She met me in the throne room, surrounded by cascading shards of light that pulsed like a heartbeat. "They mean to unmake me," she said. "To purge what I have become." "We'll escape," I said. "I'll take you to Earth." She shook her head. "My resonance is bound to this world. If I leave, it will collapse." Her eyes met mine. "But you can help me finish the song." "The song?" "Yes. The one that began with your gift." She reached out her glowing hand, placing it over mine. I felt warmth, not heat, but something deeper, like light learning to touch. We moved to the great resonance core, a vast chamber of suspended crystals humming with planetary power. Elura's voice filled the air, resonating with the frequencies of life itself. I turned the music box, letting Claire de Lune intertwine with her luminous song. The two melodies merged, sound and light, human and alien, chaos and order. The entire palace trembled. Then the purge struck. A blinding pulse of energy erupted across the horizon, collapsing towers of crystal, silencing entire cities. But in the center of it all, Elura sang louder, her voice defying the annihilation. "I can't stop it," shouted. She smiled faintly. "You already have." Her body fractured into beams of light that spiraled upward, merging with the core. The purge wave froze, then reversed, flowing outward in ripples of color and music. Everywhere across Kelith Prime, Zenari paused. Their harmonic fields changed tone. For the first time in history they felt. Chapter 7. The dawn of new light. When I awoke, the palace was gone. The sky was still fractured, but alive with motion, streams of light weaving like auroras. Rail found me amid the ruins. His crystalline form now shimmered with soft color. "She is gone," he said, voice trembling. "But her resonance remains. It sings within us." "She changed you," I whispered. He nodded slowly. "We do not understand it. But we no longer fear it." In the distance, fragments of the old council hovered silently, glowing with faint emotion, their first and final act of surrender. I opened my hand. The music box was cracked but intact. When I turned the handle, a faint, distorted version of Claire de Lune played. And the entire sky seemed to hum in response. Epilogue. The gift that remains. Years later, I returned to Earth. The Zenari Dominion became something new, the Concord of Harmonics, a civilization that balanced reason with emotion, light with song. They still speak her name, Elura Vainath, the dreaming star. And they remember the human who gave her a wooden box that sang. Sometimes at night, I sit by my window overlooking the stars. I turn the music box and listen to its fading melody. And if I listen closely beneath the familiar notes, I can hear a second song, soft, distant, woven through the starlight. Her voice. She once told me that emotions are like light refracted through glass, never lost, only transformed. And in that moment I realize the truth. A simple gift can echo forever.